Welcome to Hack the File. I'm Michael Lopez, and on today's episode, we're going to be looking at another book called Hacking How to Make a Keylogger by Alan T. Norman. Enjoy. All right, we're back. So, let me minimize this. All right, Hacking How to Make a Keylogger by Alan T. Norman. This is a tiny little book. It's going to go through setting up your environment. It's going to go through teaching you a little bit about C++. It's going to build your little keylogger. It's going to test it. And then that's it. Then it's done. You know, I like books like this because they're not long. They're not full of fluff where you're like, what the hell is this in here for, and all this crap. It's just simple, to the point. And then when you're done, you're done. You learned how to, and you've actually built a keylogger. Now, there's 1,000 different ways you can build a keylogger, and there's 1,000 different ways that I could do this book. Okay. But I'm gonna do it straight off of. I'm not gonna put it in a virtual machine. I'm not gonna practice it in a virtual machine. I'm just gonna do it straight off my laptop, right? Now this one is in C++, and I know there's a lot of people out there people that are into cybersecurity or that are learning about cybersecurity now, and you're like, why C++? You can use Python. I mean, Python can do this in 5 seconds, right? You literally create a keylogger in Python quick, right? I mean, you can copy and paste if you want. I mean, there's there. So you're probably going, well, what's so special about this? Well, why should we do that? Because C++ is a different language, okay? And not a lot of people know how to do stuff in C++. All Python and Ruby and all this, Go and all this stuff. But like C++ and C Sharp I would say, are the backbone in Java, right? Are a backbone of a lot of code. So I don't mean it like that. I mean it like, if you learn C++ and C Sharp and all the C's and C, I mean, you can learn all the other codes easily, right? Because I think they're harder. And I like C++. I like C Sharp, and I like C, especially like C. Right now, this one's gonna have some pointers in it and stuff like that, and programming and stuff. If you don't know what a pointer is, Google it. But that are irritating to me. But I mean, it's C++. What do you want, right? And this is a compiled language. So after we get done doing this, I'm actually going to make a series of this, a quick little series, because I went through the book, and I mean, it's quick, right? So it's going to go through how to make, it's going to go through his title, and it's going to go through his chapters. So I mean, this is how quick it should be. Setting up the environment. Now he's using Eclipse IDE. If you don't know what that IDE is, my famous words are what? Google it. You're gonna do a lot of research and Googling, and if you find something that you like, you dive more deep into the research. Maybe get a book. Anyways, setting up the Eclipse environment. This is all the same. Chapter 1, Chapter 2. We're gonna skip these, but we're gonna go through them real quick, look at them. But I'm not gonna use Eclipse. Okay, I don't need to. I'm gonna use my Visual Studio and set up stuff. Right, Visual Studio. It's got C+ in it. And I've never used the Eclipse environment. I'm not going to follow that, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use a different environment, but so I'm going to skip those, so it's going to be even faster. Programming basics crash course. I'm going to go through this quick because I already know how to do that, right? And now, um, if you don't know how to program, then you know, take a programming class, or, I mean, I'll go through this and then, but it's not going to teach you how to program. You have to try. You have to program, right? You're going to have to, program a lot of. You're going to have to do a lot of programming. At least a year of programming. You learn the rules. You learn how to read it. You learn what everything means, and then you go in and you start making programs. Maybe get a job and start learning how to program, right? But I mean, I don't know what to say about this part, but I'm gonna just go through it quick. Okay, a typical program, right? I'm going through these two pointers and files. So I might even just breeze through this so fast that all this stuff, is one video. Basic keylogger. So this is where it starts. Chapter 6 is, and then he sets up your basic keylogger, right? Then he's going to be coding it, upper and lowercase letters. I guess it's going to track those or log them. Encompassing other characters and log those. Hide keylogger console window. So it's going to show you how to use this keylogger, I guess, with Windows. And that's it. Done. Conclusion. I had a great time writing this book. Thanks for the $3. Now, I paid $3 for the digital copy of this book. And like I said, you guys are probably like, well, you can do that in Python for free, just and all that stuff. But you know, I don't know how well this C++ keylogger will be as opposed to a Python keylogger, right? It might be superior. It might have more versatility. It might have more application. I might be able to, you know, use it differently. I might be able to, maybe the average keylogger they're looking for Python. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So, but the more kind of cool little tools you have in your little toolbox, once I make this keylogger, I'm gonna keep it. Then I'll have it. And if I ever need it, which I probably won't, but you never know. What if I'm pen testing or something later on in the future, or if I start my own company? You never know. I've got a little keylogger that works, that I know will work, and it's written in a different language. Maybe we can't do a Python one. So, and the average people have C++ or have Visual Studio on their, or whatever. So, on their Windows. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but I do like C++ and C Sharp. So, I guess let's get this started, and I guess let's just go through it. And if halfway through I'm like, nah, this is stupid, then I just won't do it. All right. Today, with the existence of a program called a keylogger, gaining unauthorized access to a computer's users' passwords, accounts, and confidential information has become as easy as falling off a log. You don't necessarily need to have physical access to the user's computer before you're able to monitor it. Sometimes all it takes is a single click on a link to your program by the user. Anyone with basic knowledge about computer can use a keylogger. Yeah, $3. What do you want? By the time you are done with this chapter, hopefully you will be able to make your own keylogger through simple, well-explained, illustrated steps I have made for you. What is a keylogger? Keylogger, sometimes called a keystroke logger or system monitor, is a computer program that monitors and records every keystroke made by a computer to gain unauthorized access to passwords or other confidential information. Making your own keylogger versus downloading one. Why is it better to write your own keylogger as opposed to just downloading it from the internet? Is the reason of antivirus detection. It's exactly what I just said. If you write your own custom codes for a keylogger and keep the source code to yourself, companies that specialize in creating antivirus will have nothing about your keylogger, and thus the chances of cracking it will be considerably low. See, that's what I'm talking about. Furthermore, downloading a keylogger from the internet is tremendously dangerous, as you have no idea what might be embedded in the program. In other words, you might have your own system monitored. I like this guy already. Requirements for making your own keylogger. In in other in what? In other to make in order? In order to make your own keylogger, you will need it's probably was supposed to be order. You will need to have some certain packages ready to use. Some of these packages include a virtual machine. When codes are written and needed to be tested, it's not always advisable to run them directly on your computer. Well, this is because the code might have a destructive nature. Running them could leave your system damage. Oh, that's probably true, but I mean, it's a keylogger. Is it in cases? It is in cases of testing written programs that the utilization of a virtual machine comes handy. Uh, a virtual machine is a program that has an environment. Okay, we already know what a virtual machine is. Windows operating systems. The keylogger will be making what the keylogger we will be making will be one that can only affect a Windows PC. We choose to make such a keylogger because the majority of desktop users utilize Windows platform. However, besides the making of a keylogger that can affect a Windows system, it is far easier to compare to making one that will function on a wait hold up. It is far easier compared to making one that will function on a Mac PC. For this reason, we will begin the easy work, and later we can advance to more complex one in my next books. So I'm gonna look out for his next one, see if he can do one on the PC, on the Mac. IDE, Integrated Development Environment. An IDE is a software suite that consolidates the basic tools that developers need to write and test software. Typically, an IDE contains a code editor and a debugger and a compiler that the developers access through a single graphic or user-face GUI, which will utilize an which will we will utilize an IDE called Eclipse for the project. And I've had Eclipse downloaded on my. I don't know if I should just follow this book to the T. I guess having Eclipse isn't bad. We'll see. A compiler is a special program that processes statements written in a particular computer language and converts them to machine language or code that the computer can accept. This is a compiler language. Before we start writing our keylogger, we will need to set up our environment and also learn the basic things C++, because most of the codes for Windows are written in our keylogger is targeted from Windows. Most of the codes for Windows are written in it in C++. Nice. You definitely want your keylogger to have the capability of running universally across all systems that utilize the Windows operating systems. So just so you know beforehand, C++ is not the next easiest programming language to learn because of the nature of the syntax. Notwithstanding, don't give up already. We will, because that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a harder language, but I mean, they say that, but the more you use it, the more you understand, right? Beginning with the simple things and move on gradually to the more advanced ones, taking a comprehensive step-by-step approach. I also advise you to use external materials and sequences to expand your knowledge on the areas we touch in this case. Hopefully, by the end of this chapter, you'll be able to make your own keylogger and modify it to suit your purpose. Setting up the environment. It says use a virtual environment, right? Oh, so we're gonna what? write the program. Where does it want to keep it? I just like we need to set up our computer system before we get working in them. In the same light, we need to set up the environment which will be able to use code C++. And in the final count of things, make a keylogger. The first thing we will need is an integrated development environment (IDE). And as stated earlier, we will be using Eclipse. The IDE of our choice, Eclipse, is Java based, so we will need to go to the Java website. When we get on the Java website, we'll discover that there are numerous options for downloading. However, since we intend to use C++ programming, we'll download Eclipse for C++ developers, still having at the back of our minds that we are working on a Windows platform. Hence, while there are Eclipse versions for Linux, Solaris, Mac systems, we will download Eclipse for Windows. You also need to choose between 32-bit, 64-bit systems. Depending on what your computer runs, you can easily check your system. Step, go to properties, yes. When the download is complete, the download file will be downloaded. Unzip it. After unzipping, install it. Starting Eclipse cannot work without a Java runtime environment (JRE) or Java Development Kit (JDK). This is no problem at all. We need to return to the internet and download that. We simply Google Java Download Kit, click on the link. Some more viruses. I'm just kidding. On the site, we have to go to JKD program, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So that was some more. However, we will know we're interested in JDK. We'll return to accept the Oracle binary license agreement. We do this, blah blah blah. Now, unlike the program we're done, okay. We want to run such files, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Program. Okay, hold on. So we want to run such files with unseparate. We have to specify the full path. This could really be tedious. So, for instance, so we're gonna not doing none of this crap. I got a different environment I'm gonna use, so it should be fine. Click OK. True, we have made a couple of downloads, and we should jump right into the meat of the matter, making our keylogger. But wait, just a minute, we're not forgetting something. Of course we are. We have a virtual machine where all operations regarding our keylogger will be carried out. Okay, here we go. We have Eclipse where all the code we writing will be done, and I guess this is on our personal laptop, or PC. We also have the JDK kit which enables us to run Eclipse. We don't need that. What we lack is a compiler which will translate C++, and that's in my IDE built in. Okay, written codes to machine language which understand the computer system. Without wasting time, we can download a compiler at blah blah blah. I want to see this. See, it's not secure. Oh, now it is? I ain't gonna allow crap. See, I don't like that. So, that was kind of fishy. So, we're not gonna worry about that. Alright, and now variable passage and key compiler. So, we comfortably launch the Eclipse environment. Blah blah blah. Setting the Eclipse environment. Launching Eclipse. We don't need to do this. We're gonna skip this. Skip it. Skip it. Alright, we're going to skip all that. Programming basics. Crash course on C++. True, we are concerned with making a keylogger, and you must be wondering why we are still beating around the bush. Oh, if I forgot to say, if you guys want to follow along or whatever, and you want to learn how to actually set up, download and set up your IDE, let me know, and I will make a video on how to download Visual Studio IDE or Visual Studio Code. Or you could check out my video on how to set up a virtual environment. And then my virtual environment, in that one, it shows you how to. I show you what website to go to download Visual Studio, and then you can have Visual Studio for free, and it's the community version, and you'll have all the libraries and C++ and everything, and the compiler and everything in that sucker. So it's way easier. All right. Thing is, it is really necessary that we equip ourselves with basic knowledge of the environments. We will work in the tools we will use. C++ is the programming language we've decided to use, and so we'll go through the basic areas of language, which will give you the sense of direction and where we're headed, making a keylogger. Later on, as we progress, we will learn more and more of this language. Variables. So this is going to be the crash course, right? And this is just going to be your basics. If you're studying martial arts, it's going to be your front stance, a high block, low block. This is just basics. Variable. A variable is a location in memory where a value can be stored to use by a program. An analogy is that the post office boxes where each box has an address, post office box number. When the box is open, the content will be retrieved. Similarly, each memory location has an address. When it is invoked, the contents will be retrieved. So basically, that's what I've been saying about a variable. It's a bit. I see it like a box. You put a name on it, which is your variable name, and then you put whatever inside. Okay, and then so when you call that in your program line by line, and you call a variable, it's going to have whatever you had put in that box, right? And it could be a string, it could be we're going to go through all that right here. If you don't know, Google it, or take a class. I've got another video that shows you which classes I took and which classes you can take that are cheap. I do recommend taking classes. Now, if you want to learn programming from a book, that's fine. If that's how you learn, and that's what basically what we do here on this, what I do on this channel, or what we do. But I didn't learn how to program just by myself through a book, right? I had a job, so I went to, I learned how to read it, and I learned all the ins and outs of it, and all the basics of variables and all that. And I learned how to program a little bit in the practice. Then I had a job, so. But if you don't have a job, what I recommend is you do all the exercises. That'll help. You know what I'm saying? It's not real world programming, but it is programming, and you'll know how to program, right? Then go get a job. Identifier. Identifier is a sequence of characters taken from the C++ character set. Yeah, I forgot this is C++ and not C#. Each variable needs an identifier that distinguishes it from another. For instance, given a variable, A is an identifier, and the value is the content. An identifier consists of alphabet, digits, and underscores. It must not start with a digit. C++ is case sensitive, and the uppercase and lower cases are considered different from each other. For example, boy, where not equal to means not equal to, it must not be a reserved word. Reserved words. A reserved word or keyword is a word that is special meaning to C++ compiler. Some C++ keywords are double, ASM, break, operator stay, static, void, etc. And you can Google the keywords. To declare a variable, it must be first given a name and a type of data to hold. For example, that's what we were talking about. Integer. Integer A, where A is the identifier and the type and is the type of integer. So this is what you don't have to do in Python that you have to do in C++, which I don't care either way. I do like it, but there are several C++ data types, and each of these data types have their functions. Listed below are the various data types. Integer, these are small whole numbers. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 100, 1,000. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, small. Yeah. Large integers are, 10,000, 11,000, whatever. Floats are small real numbers. So 1.2, 6.5, 8.9, something with a point in it, right? Doubles, these are double, these, wait a minute. Yeah, right. Wait, small real numbers. Oh, okay, hold on. I got that confused, I think. But I used to use floats for everything. I think it's floats. Yeah, floats, you can, it doesn't matter. Right? Man, I haven't used C++ in a while. Double, these are numbers and decimal points. Yeah, 20.3. So yeah, your double is your decimal points. Long double, very large real numbers. So yeah, same thing. Char, a single character, so it'd be like A, B, C. Boolean value. It can take one or two values, so it's either true, it's either on or off, true or false. Understanding code statements. When we first launched Eclipse, we were welcome. So hold on. So any of these could be in your box and could be named a variable. So I'll have a box called car, or no, age, like my age, or I'll even have it like a box and put my age, right? And I'll throw this integer in it, and it'll be that integer whole number will be 40, 41, 42, anything, right? It'll be in that box, and then I can use my age in my code, and it'll, whenever my code is running, it'll pull out that box, my age. Okay, that's how it works. When we first launch Eclipse, we don't care. We don't care. Okay, include. The statement include is a call for statement from a library. So this would be your just like Python, right? You know how you're including and then you put your library. This is the same thing. IO stream. This is a library file which contains certain functions which will enable us to utilize some certain commands. IO stream is just another library call. Just you put it up there. You can use certain different libraries off of the .NET framework, right, or Microsoft or whatever. Or yeah, cout. This is a command that displays the outcome of the written code. So cout displays it on your monitor or whatever. Example: if you write a code for a program that will ask other questions, the cout statement. And backend stuff, you don't really use cout. But I mean, if you're writing a display program or something like that, yeah, I don't know. CN, the statement is which is used to receive. So if you'll say CN, whatever, and then that's when somebody types something in types it, and then takes it in. A good example of both the CN cout statement is a calculator. Yep, because you're gonna punch stuff, and then it's gonna give you a value out. CN cout. That's it. Double backspace, double slash is a comment line. Yep, means so you put this and you put a comment, or you could put this and then one on the other end, and it comments it out too. We embrace our programmers. Okay, we also use a multi-line comment. So this one, yeah, multi-line comment has a single slash and the star asterisk together. Functions like a single comment line statement. We can really okay. So like yeah, you put it there, write your comment, and then on the end you put it backwards. Single one is just that, boom, and you'll get used to all this stuff. Typical program. The diagram below shows a simple program which is designed to ask the computer user to input two separate values, which it prints out. Let's go through the lines of each code step by step, and you can't see that. That's what sucks. Where's my the heck is my zoom? Oh, Oh, zoom, zoom. We don't need to see that. I know what a typical program is, so I don't care. Line one. This line contains case, so we're gonna. All right, we're gonna skip this one. Let me get up real quick. Yeah, we're gonna skip all the programming stuff. If you don't know how to program, you're probably not gonna be able to follow along with programming a keylogger, anyways. But you could listen and watch, and then when you take your classes, you can come back to this, and you'll have a better understanding of what's going on. Um, this would be just a refresher course for me, but I mean, I was using these languages for a while, so should be able to follow along easier. I can actually see that pretty good. So, I mean, that's what I like about C++. It's simple. It's not complicated. If A is larger than B, then this is going to go into here. They want you to put C out on the screen. Uh, See, now this okay. Yeah, you have to put C out, and then you have to put these little guys. I forgot. Man, it's been a while. A is greater than B. Else, so it's going to come down the line. It's going to check. It's going to say, yep. It's going to pump that out on the screen. It's going to come and say A is, not greater than B, which it's not. So it's going to come over here and it's going to say, it's going to go to the next one. Else, if A equals to B, see out A is equal to B. So it's not. So it's not going to go in there. So it's going to go to the next one. See out A is less than B. So it's going to always go to this one because A is before B. A, B, C, D, right? That's how I see it. So then it's going to come here. A is less than B. And then it's going to return. So it's going to pump. It's going to go here. It's going to check, no, yup. It's going to meet that requirement, and then it's going to just return 0. It's going to return. You have to put a return 0, and it returns your code or your method or whatever function. I think is what C++ calls them or whatever. Returns the whole program. As observed from the codes written above, so it's going to say what I just said. Loops. I'm going to skip loops. Same thing. That's basically all you need to know about all this programming stuff. That's good if you want to learn, but you're not going to learn how to code C++ by just going through here. But you might learn how, I guess, maybe simple he writes this keylogger. If this is all you need to know, it's going to be simple. Oh, wait a minute. I have to probably go back here on this pointers because I don't remember pointers. I mean, I do, but it's been a minute. Finally, let's get into pointers and files, which we'll start writing. Okay. Guess he's going to use a lot of pointers, huh? Pointer. Basically, a pointer. Oh gosh. Basically, a pointer in not just C++, but in other programming languages is used in showing the memory locations of variables. Let's analyze blah 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 blah. Let us analyze the little program above to help us understand the pointers. Include IOStream using namespace, integer main. It's your main integer, your main function or whatever, your main. Setting up your integer, setting up your pointer, integer pointer. So you gotta set up your pointer. Pointer equals and num. See out num pointer. And see, I hate pointers. Codes from line 1 through 6 serve the same purpose they always have. A variable num of type int is declared since a pointer just at 9, 10. Since pointer discloses the memory location of a variable, there has to be a variable whose located declared on line 10. The pointer is declared. This is done by using a variable type such as that variable whose location is established, followed by the asterisk, following the name of the pointer. The pointer has a pointer can have any name. PTR was used for the above program, so it could be anything. What the hell? Oh, use with an asterisk, right? Is that what they said? Now on line 9, the pointer is told to point to the variable num. Pointer equals num. So this variable, is that an asterisk? Probably. Is pointing at this. Okay. Now line 9. This is done by typing the name of the pointer and equating it to the ampersand sign and the variable num with no space in between. On line 13, the cout wants the num, which we said earlier, and pointer. What is this? Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, to the value of 10, and the pointer which will display the memory location of num. As seen in the figure above, on running the code, it displays the value contained in num together with the memory location of the variable. Note that on line 13, if we wanted the pointer to point to the console, the value contained in the variable, we could simply have put an asterisk before pointer, as shown in the where to point the console. We might be asking ourselves, why on earth we need files? Well, okay, so I'm confused. What is this? What is that? The memory location? Okay. Yeah, I have to dive a little deeper into pointers. That explains it, but not fully. I can barely see this. Yeah, but once we mess with it, we'll figure it out. Files. We might be asking ourselves, why on earth we need files? Well, if we are going to need a keylogger, we're going to need to know how to use files. Because if you have a keylogger on somebody's system, we'll need to be storing the keystrokes, right? If the user types ABC, it should be written to a file somewhere, of course. You need to know how to write files using nothing else but C++. It is a very simple process. It's not complicated in any way. In fact, it is very similar to count to cout and cin. All we need to do is type include fstream. Yeah, that's right. Just under the include IO stream so that we'll be able to write the file. Create an output stream just like the one on line 8 and give it a name. The output stream is created just so is he starting to written the output stream is created by just writing off of stream, adding any name of your choice. On line 8, output stream. Right, no, the path will be specified. Else is in your project folder. To locate the default path, click on PC or my computer, depending on your system. On local disk, and then use user blah, blah, locate space within workspace. Look for your C project name and click on it. If you named your project keylogger, you should be looking for keylogger. The name keystroke will be within keylogger. Let's go ahead and specify the path for the next exact location. So he's putting his path. So he is doing this on his. Does he have a Windows environment? Okay, so I have a Windows VM. So he's doing this on a Windows VM. I don't know if he explained that or not in the book. Um, he said it was going to be using virtual machines, and he said not to use it on your PC. So, but he never gave us anywhere to download a Windows virtual environment. So, uh, I don't know if I like that. And it's kind of confusing, right? And see, this is why I make my channel so we can like go through these. I can show you how to like think through these books and not get caught on them. So you're going through and you're like, I have no clue what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing, and then you just give up. And that you're not going to learn anything. You're going to keep yourself back because imagine all the things that you can figure out, and you keep going, going. You'll learn a lot of cool things, right? But a lot of people will come read this and go, I have no idea, what am I doing? Because he's not explaining it right, or maybe I'm not reading it right. Well, actually, I'm skimming through it so fast that maybe I didn't understand right. But so he's doing this on his Windows environment, maybe virtual machine. I might have to, I might have to go ahead on this, like, and then figure out what I'm gonna do, right? Because originally I wanted to do it just on my box, but I mean, I can't see how I mess up my system. Okay, include your desired path. Okay, so he's just setting up a path in his little OF stream. Write into your file. In order to write to your file, or in other words, send inputs that you created to your created file on a line number, put your file name in the program above. Windows is awesome. I like working in it. I like the freedom it has as opposed to Linux. Sure, you do. Notice how the quotation marks is used. It makes no difference on the computer, however, it is displayed in a single line unless escape sequence as an or end of your line, end of line. Man, I wish I had a zoom on this. I think I do, but I don't. I think I can zoom my keyboard somehow. I think I'm gonna have to Google it. In the above figure, the program has been compiled and set to run. However, the statement in quotes is not printed to the displayed window. This is normal. Eureka! There lies our statement with the files created via the path to set. Well done. Now is a good practice to always close a file at the end. Oh yeah. Output stream. You gotta close it. Go through the basic process of reading. So it's teaching us how to set it up. I'll set the file up. But is that part of the keylogger code? Include using namespace. On running the program, Windows is displayed, which is the first word of the statement that is sent to our file. For organization is fire display. As we advance, we will see how we can read the whole statement, regardless of the length, regardless of the spaces. It's not complicated. We need to create a loop. We have finally come through the basics of C++. And so we can start by building our keylogger. We will begin from the simple primitive keylogger, which we lay hands so we can set our what? Which we can lay hands so we can set our feet right, and from there move on to more sophisticated ones. Man, I read that wrong or something. Basic keylogger. The first thing we're going to need for a keylogger are the include. Okay, so now he's building it, right? And let me see how I can zoom in on this wrap.
go to zoom in and zoom out any part of your Windows 11 screen. So for this guys, you can use this shortcut key. So just hold Windows key button and press plus symbol from your Windows 11 keyboard like this. So this magnifying tool will open on your Windows 11. Now if you
There you
want to
go.
zoom in any part of your Windows 11 screen,
Man, that
just same shortcut you want to
man, that
use,
that
hold Windows key button
zoomed way
and
too
press
much.
plus symbol to zoom in. And if you want to zoom out, hold Windows key button and press minus symbol from your keyboard. So you can easily zoom out your Windows 11 screen as you can see. So you can use this shortcut, hold Windows key button and press plus and minus symbol to zoom in and zoom out your Windows 11 screen. So the tutorial today guys is the short and very.
Gracias. All right, that's how you zoom. So we can zoom in, zoom out if we need to. Basic keylogger. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. That was a long video, but it's set up. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna do it on my box off of um, Visual Studio. So I think that's it. I'm done. Um, if anything, what you learned about this video, what is that? Oh, there's my magnifier. Oh, look, cool. I was looking for that, so I could put that. I don't want to go to 200. I want to go to maybe like 110. Let's go, man. Anyways, all right. So if anything, what you learned from this video is, how to read these books. You're gonna get these cheaper books, or you're gonna get these books. A lot of them are outdated, but you don't have to follow them to the T. Most of them, right? This is probably gonna help you with writing the keylogger, the basics of that programming. And then, so what we can do is go back and refer to what he was saying. I'm assuming that he has the basic programming that he explained in this keylogger. But you can't really assume things, right? So that's the next thing we're gonna figure out when we get through the next video or whatever. And this should be like a two video little basic series, two videos, right? I'll show you how to use. I'll show you how to use Visual Studio in the next video. I'll show you how to set up a new project, and then we'll go through this and zoom in and build our little keylogger, and then we'll test it. Um, I don't think I need to put this on a virtual machine. I mean, it's just gonna track my keystrokes, my own keystrokes, and put it to a file. So, I mean, I don't have to. I'm sure. We'll make sure we don't damage anything. And if I run a program, I'll stop running it and stuff. I'm sure when you run it. So on this one, you have to run them. They're compiled, so you run the program, and then it'll track your keys. And I'm sure when you stop running the program, it won't. Um, so yeah, we'll do that on the next video. And that was Hack the File. I think that doing stuff like this, look at it's done. It's a quick little. See about the author, it's done already. So it's a quick little, cool little book. If you go through instruction, like he says at the start of the book, writing your own stuff is the way to go. Because a lot of antivirus software uses like the most current viruses and stuff like that, and they look for the signatures and the whatever, right? And if you write your own, they won't be able to, you might slip through. I don't know. So that was Hack the File. If you have any comments or anything, put them down in there. Let me know, and I'll see you on the next Hack the File. Enjoy.